Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and there is an old saying in politics, you get what you vote for. And New Yorkers, they're about to get what they voted for. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. Mamdani won last night, and he won big. And he's got big plans. Free buses. Can you imagine what those free buses are going to look like, by the way? You remember New York in the 1970s and 1980s? Graffiti all over the buses, people getting mugged on the subway, graffiti on the trains, homeless people camped out in front of the trains and the buses. Yeah, that's your free buses. What, you think they're going to be clean? Think they're going to be neat? Come on. Anything that's free, anything people don't have to pay for, they treat like garbage because it has no value to them. You notice that a lot of times with public housing. But I digress. He has a lot of plans for free stuff. A lot of things he wants to give away, but how do you give away free stuff? I mean, it has to come from somewhere, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Mamdani this morning was on Good Morning America, and he revealed where it's going to come from. See, he's going to raise taxes in New York massively. Now, he says it'll only be on the top like 1%. But you know what happens when you raise taxes massively on the top 1%? They leave. And then who's left? You got to raise taxes on who's left, right? So who's that going to be? It's going to be regular people. But he's not done. See, he says to really implement his plans, he needs the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, to raise taxes on the entire state just to prop up the free stuff he wants to give away in New York. Yeah, elect socialists, communists, elect these people, and what you have is not your own anymore. You asked for it. Now you're going to get it. I want you guys to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
What is the message and the mandate behind that?
The message is about transforming the most expensive city in the United States of America into one that's affordable for each and every New Yorker. And what New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs gave us last night was a mandate to pursue the most ambitious affordability agenda the city has seen since the days of Fiorello LaGuardia. And it's time that we start to deliver it.
Well, let's dig into that, because you're talking about a rent freeze, you're talking about free buses, you're talking about free childcare. Can you do that without raising taxes?
I think you can do that, and I think you have to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year, and you do that by raising taxes by them 2%. And then you also increase the corporate tax of New York State to match that of New Jersey. So that takes us from about 7.25 to about 11.5%, which is what we see in New Jersey. These things together raise about $9 billion, which more than pays for our economic agenda and also starts to Trump-proof our city.
But are you worried that could drive a lot of job creators out of New York?
So what I've heard from a number of business leaders is that the affordability crisis is also affecting their ability to attract and retain talent. The city's inability to provide childcare means that businesses often have to provide stipends for that childcare. Right now, the absence of universal childcare means that a family will pay around $22,500 a year, which is more money than many of them would spend if they sent that same kid to college 18 years later. And it is time for city government to actually step up to the responsibility that it has.
Not just the city government. That kind of a tax increase is going to require the state as well, including the governor, Kathy Hochul. Is she on board?
You know, I'm proud to have Governor Kathy Hochul's endorsement and the endorsement of our agenda, specifically universal childcare. And I've said time and again, I think these are the two most direct and straightforward ways to raise this revenue. If there are other ways to raise this funds, the most important thing is that we actually fund this agenda.
You said that President Trump was watching you last night. It appears that he was watching you. And it also appears that he and other Republicans are trying to make you the poster boy of the Democratic Party. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, calls you a true extremist and a Marxist. And he says now every House Democrat incumbent and candidate will co-own Mamdani's disastrous record in the 2026 midterms. How do you respond to that?
Well, I'm looking forward to showing the power of an example here in New York City, an example of what it means to not just diagnose the despair in working people's lives as the cost